Hooray!
Welcome back. Oh, I didn't know the two of you were dancing. I would have danced as well. I was just like, hey, and the two of you are like getting your groove on. Yes, as always, I'm here with Ben, Verth and Keego.
Hey, Babes and Hot Rod. It sounds like a film I accidentally starred in.
Let's get my
That's
hair,
right.
get my
your
glam
Legacy
New
lunch
York hair, my glam New York attire.
What does your shirt
ready.
say then?
It's okay, so so it says Babes. This is legitimately one of my girlfriend's jumpers. And I put this on, which on her looks like it's an empowering, attractive statement. On me, it just looks like I'm like, it's not intended like that. And I've tried. I had like exactly 3 minutes to think of a costume. So
Perfect.
Wow.
And Keego, what's on your t-shirt? Huh? What, Ben?
Sorry, as asked, the return of the cock straw for drinking my drink.
Excellent. I was hoping he was going to make another appearance. I love it's like tipping off the glass.
It's
Keego,
the
what
way
have
you
you
pick it
got?
up. It's the way you pinch the end, Ben. Sorry, my t-shirt.
Jesus,
I
yeah, what does it say on yours?
Let's move on from that last thing that was just said. No, I was looking for a blonde wig, obviously, because we're going to get into the quiz. I'm obviously Samantha, but I don't have the wig up here to match her. So I wore a Hot Rod t-shirt because that was my stripper name in college.
Nice. Yes. It is our Sex and the City party. Yes, that's right.
What am I doing here?
Wait, should we get a blast of the theme tune? Should we get a blast of the theme tune?
Are we allowed?
Yeah.
Are we allowed? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe not. Hey, should we just sing it? Should we just?
Okay, hang on. Well, 1, 2, 3, boom. No, we have to do the static first that all HBO shows have. Direct it. About to get into Game of Thrones.
Itself.
The Sopranos is on finally. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Anytime I try and hum the theme tune to, I mean, it's not often. I'm just going to put that first. It's not often that I try and hum the theme tune to Sex and the City. But anytime I get it in my head, it morphs into the theme tune to Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends, the documentary series from the 90s.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Every time I try to hum the tune to Sex and the City, I'm on a bus. I'm surrounded by people, and they look at me very weirdly because I'm such a Samantha.
I think the climax of the theme song is an orgasm at the end, but we'll move on because we actually have some really, really good news today. So we were giving spoilers. We were telling people we have some big news. 2 weeks in a row, we have some amazing news, some big news. So Keego, I'm going to let you take it away.
Beautiful. Well, here we go. Last week we were all over the ooh. Whoever's holding Alo's camera fell over there.
Yeah, the short person.
Can't believe it. Can't bloody believe it.
P45, man. P45.
So here's the story, guys. We are going to be post-COVID taking over an establishment in Dublin City, in the heart of Dublin City, the Drop Dead Twice. We are hosting Eargasm, a weekend of Irish comedy where we're going to pull the pin out of the comedy grenade and relaunch it somewhere funny. We hopefully in that building. So on the Friday, we're going to start with Jack McKenna. He's going to run his Rascal Comedy Night. Oh, beautiful! What a professional Ben is. There we are. That was what I was about to say exactly what's on screen. But Jack is going to be there Friday. Obviously, there's a party afterward for on each night. Saturday, it's all about the party tits. We're each going to do a short set and the party tits show. We need all of your interactions, questions, heckles, compliments, and everything in between, complete with partial nudity on the Saturday night and Sunday.
Your party tits. And your party tits. Bring your party tits.
Bring your party tits and your friends' party tits. We'll bring them all. And then on the Sunday, we're going to finish with the Sunday rollover hosted by
Ask
Sinead
if you can bring your friends' party tits. Let's.
Consent.
We're already dicing with respectability with the name of this thing. So just make sure everyone is consensual with where the tits are being brought.
Such a 2021 comment there, Ben. Before we offend anyone with the name of our event, But no, we're taking it over. Halloween weekend. Ben has just shared the poster. There we are. We are going to absorb the cost of the ticket. So the charges from Eventbrite we're going to take. So it's a $5 a ticket, 3 shows. Buy yourselves and your loved ones and your hated ones tickets for each night. And to up the ante, right? Not your auntie, not my auntie, the auntie. If you buy 2 or more tickets, you will go into a draw, okay? And on the Friday before, or the Thursday before the Friday, we're going to do a draw. And the winner of that draw will be able to shave my beard off live on stage, whatever night you're going to. You go to all 3 nights. But you get to shave a human monkey if you buy more than 2 tickets. Yeah,
what
no.
about waxing?
No, they'll be waxed off, face off. But the more tickets you buy, the more chances you have of winning. That's how we're going to get you in the door. You can start off by shaving my face. If you buy 100 tickets, you can shave anywhere on my body. But start up here and we'll work our way down. So, Eargasm.
Nobody is touching anything on me.
No.
There's that single screen right there. So, let me share the link here. Sorry, guys, we should have planned it. Oh, we did plan ahead. I just wasn't listening. So, the link is going in the chat now. We are now live. You can buy tickets straight from this link. Buy tickets for each night. Buy more than 1 ticket for each night. And if you buy 2 or more, you go into the draw to shave me on stage. So, on whatever night. What more can we offer you for entertainment purposes?
Oh my God, no.
Oh my God, I'm tired now. So please, come along.
Jack's show is kind of like a chat show, host show. Our show, you obviously know a lot about it. You wouldn't be watching it otherwise. And Sinead's show, the Sunday Rollover, is a mixed night of stand-up comedy. So you get something different each night if you're interested in going the full weekend. Yes. So Keego, thanks so much for that. Woo! And we look forward to seeing you there. Now I want to go in.
And if not Shaving Keego sells any tickets, then we're also open to that as well.
You know, if you just wanted to buy a ticket and go, I have bought 3 tickets not to shave him, that's fine.
Exactly. If you want to buy all the tickets to not go near me, that's equally fine as well. So I can remain. I don't know what's under here. This is the selling point. This has been covered up since I was 14 months old. So no one knows what's under here. So
maybe a tattoo. It reveals a tattoo of a beard. We don't know. Okay.
Exactly. So buy loads of tickets and find out. Shave me rotten. Lovely.
So on that note, I was like, I think we'll go into the results, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll go into who we got in our results. So. Ben, who you got Carrie, which was what I thought you were going to get because of you're like a spectacular host with your podcast That But Funny and like what's the other show? Yeah, that's right, podcast. You can find them on Spotify. Science Faction was another one that you hosted. You host a bunch of things, or The Mash as well is another one that you host.
I have more unsuccessful internet things to my name than anyone else.
I'm sure Miley Cyrus is up there, but Miley Cyrus Burn. If you watch the second movie of Sex and the City, you know all about it. So you got a Carrie. Are you happy with your result? Are you unhappy? What did you like? Do you think that they got it right? Similar to
yeah. We all took the test to find out who. I mean, there's 3 of us. There's obviously 4 in Sex and the City. Not in the reboot though. There's only going to be 3, so that kind of fits a bit better. But I got Carrie Bradshaw, and I'll just read it out. Your question: do I agree? No, no. Congratulations, you're Carrie. Some may call you complicated, but you take that as a compliment. Okay, maybe. Your soul is full of wanderlust and is always craving new adventures. No. You see every experience as an opportunity to learn and have an open mind. No, I do not.
Carrie does not do that either.
Yeah,
she fucking does not. She's set in her ways. Go on.
Your friends love you because you're supportive, understanding, and take people for who they are. No, I do not. Honesty and compassion. Honesty and compassion are your best qualities. No, they are not. So
Wow,
So I don't know how I got any of that. I would also say that, yeah, you're right. That doesn't apply to Carrie from Sex and the City either. She's a shit.
No.
So.
She is. Yeah, we're gonna get into her. Lol, that's what Big said. Keego, who did you get? I think. Well, we all heard who you got, but you're delighted.
Well, look, as we all know, the internet is always right. And I'm just going to read it out here because I did save it. So, which Sex and the City character are you? Obviously, you are Samantha Jones. It doesn't tell me anything about Samantha Jones. It just showed me a picture of her. So basically, I'm a long-legged blonde woman. So that's
with
a turn
a
up to the
massive
book.
sex drive.
Yeah. I'm a short, fat, bald man with a disappointing sex drive. So it's that balance is equally there. Yeah.
Well, you've got one fan. You've got one fan, man.
Loving the Roddy Piper t-shirt. Hey, Alex, how are you? Good to see you again.
He is my only fan. Yeah. There's a post up there with me just wearing the t-shirt. So Halo, look, let's move on from that mental image. Who did you get?
I got Miranda, and I was so surprised. I definitely thought I was going to get Charlotte because I'm a little bit kept and butter wouldn't melt. But no, I got Miranda, and I was kind of happy afterwards because I was like, isn't she the least attractive out of all of them? And I was like, well, hang on, she does have a wicked sense of humor. So I was just like, okay, I'm happy with that.
Is Miranda the lesbian?
Yeah, but not in the show.
Oh, I thought she was lesbian. Why am I talking like this? I have a microphone on.
But also, I have your back that way. It's like when
this is how politicians are brought down every day.
I did not. I did have sexual relations with that woman. Oh, Bill, fuck's sake. That's a 1995 joke there.
I would love it. I would love hearing like the full release of a lot of these like tapes where confessions are made, and like you just have like an Irish guy in the background going, for fuck's sake, you know what being taped, Charles? You're like, I'd love like the full release of Watergate, and it's not just all of these things that Richard Nixon is saying in his American drawl. There's like an Irish guy. There's an Irish guy in the back just like, oh, Richard, you asshole, what are you saying that for?
It's like the father Ted with fucking hell, yeah. We got
Cassandra, welcome back. Welcome back joining us. I got Kerry too, Ben. I don't agree with it either. Nah, like it's kind of I'm really sorry. Yeah, we didn't make the quiz, so that's our excuse.
I think Sarah Jessica Parker made the quiz based on all the carries that have come out of it. I think it's her. All that Sex in the City money.
Well, of course, I mean, in real life, you know, me as Carrie, Sarah Jessica Parker, Keego, you as Samantha Kim Cattrall, we should hate each other. There is a notorious rivalry between those two people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'm Team Kim.
Team Kim.
Oh, really? Well, whatever.
Wow.
Such a Miranda.
Such a Miranda. Oh.
Miranda looking like Charlotte. Classic.
So I also want to share something with you guys. What was that? D. Dooley said, I may possibly be a Samantha. Good woman, D. All the more power to you. So I did a little bit of research before the show tonight, and I went onto Netflix. I knew Sex and the City 2, the worst of the films, was on Netflix. And I typed in the first word of the movie, and that's what I'm sticking with. And I want everyone to just stand a little bit closer to their screen. Peppa fucking Pig came up on the screen when I searched Sex and the City. And I didn't even finish. I just had sex. Peppa Pig came up. Lads, we all know what box set we're watching after this, okay? You know, Bridgerton's over. We're going to be balls deep into Peppa Pig.
Ooh, disgusting.
I heard myself say that back. That's fine.
So you typed sex. We can see it there. It's a little small.
Yeah.
You typed sex, and the second thing that come up was Peppa Pig.
Was Peppa freaking Pig? Isn't that for like?
Somebody's having a laugh. Somebody's
having
a fucking laugh over Netflix.
Can we put that back up on the screen again? Because I have a delay on my second screen, but there seems to be a glory hole film there as well called The Players. I don't know if you can zoom in on that.
I can't. No. And I suspect we'll be booted off social media if I do.
Sorry. Excuse me. I'm just So
Sorry,
let me
guys.
just write this down.
That's your homework for next week.
I mean, all of it looks like shite. I mean,
I know.
that's your real Netflix right there. It's like there's one thing you've heard of, and then there's like a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't thank if somebody turned up at your house with a DVD of it. Like it's
Yeah. Look at how happy that woman is. Sex and love. You kind of go, Jeannie Mac, she's not interested
Oh, I
in
thought you
either.
meant this
My
woman.
God.
Look how happy that woman is. Hey.
we got another Samantha as well, Micheál Murphy.
I'm a Samantha, the quiz verified. Welcome back, Micheál. It's good to see you again this week. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask because I think I was so excited with our brand new news. I jumped straight into it. What drinks is everyone having this evening? So Keego, I'll start off with you. Balls deep in fact. No, that's on the internet forever. Keego, what are you drinking?
Oh, so it's not funny written down. All right. So now because I'm very lazy, I tried to find a Cosmo in a can, and I did, but it looks like this. I don't know if you can see. It looks see-through, but you can mix with anyone in this drink. Yeah. So I also have one of these to wash it down with. Just because I'm a long-legged blonde woman with a high sex drive, so I need to keep the calories down just in case I get lucky later on during lockdown with myself. Cheers.
Cheers. Ben, what are you drinking?
I just have some delicious red wine looking like a fancy New York 1990s lady.
I missed you, Dooley's comment. What did it say? I missed it. Obviously, it wasn't very good if I left it to be here.
Sorry,
I see.
Have a pig?
Yeah, earlier we collectively accused Dee of watching pornography, and and she was replying.
Well, compared to what we said about Neil O'Dwyer, that's tame. He hasn't arrived yet tonight, so maybe
poor Neil. Where's Neil?
Oh my God, is he okay? Is he safe?
I'll send him a message and see. We're worried about you.
Does he know it's Thursday? Oh my God!
I mean, maybe it's getting a bit too much if like one guy has missed like the 17th show that we've done, and we send him a message going, "Where were you?" I mean, I think we need to readdress how we're attracting a fan base. If we've got to contact them individually and go, "Sorry, excuse me, aren't you supposed to be somewhere?"
Like Duolingo, the needy owl. Like it's kind of on that spectrum, which we're not going to do. What am I drinking? Did we have to ask?
You know? Oh, wow. Do you even have a glass, or have you just poured one thing into the other and just
pouring into my mouth at this stage?
Swigging at the Malibu.
So my next part of the show is: has anybody seen? Has anyone watched Sex and the City? I obviously have. Have you guys watched it? Keego's watched it.
Like it? Yes, I have watched it, mate. I bloody have watched Sex and the City.
Could I ask you a question? Ben?
Yes.
Did you watch it before or after 9 p.m.? Because they're very different shows.
I thought you were going to say that I watched it before or after 9/11, and they're very different shows. They're very different shows if you watch that chronology, 98 to 2000.
And that's it from us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I've got a rather wholesome story about why I watched Sex and the City. Way back when it was on, I was in a long distance relationship. I'd met a girl at university, an American, and she lived in New York. She was studying in New York. She came over for a year abroad at Edinburgh University, where I was, and then went back there, and we kind of maintained a relationship for a couple of years after that. Where I think I got the better end of the deal. She came over to Edinburgh, where there's like a castle and a shop, and that's it. And then I got to go over to New York. But in that period where we were separated, I watched kind of New York stuff to make me feel a little closer, make it feel like the distance wasn't so great. So Sex and the City was one, because it was one of her favorite shows. And if nothing else, as well as the sex, there's a lot of the city. Okay. I mean, if you watch it, it's a very glamorous program to watch. You feel like a rich person in all these nightclubs and in all these houses, and like it feels glamorous. You know, the other side of that is I watched a lot of Woody Allen movies, and all I can say is it's amazing how a child molester can bring people together. But here we are. It's,
guns blazing tonight, guys. Guns blazing.
I like how standing up for the show, Ailish has now got like a kind of rest to be like, well, I don't know what's
Something's
happening
wrong with the wall here. This wall keeps falling down every time Ben talks.
I got a prop.
So I watched Sex and the City, and it was really nice. Like it was part of a nice part of my life. I mean, like, am I a fan? Will I revisit it? No, I'm not. Don't have the box set or fucking whatever. But yeah, I did indeed watch it and follow these characters and like these characters. So,
cheers.
I know you have a complete opposite story to this, Ailish, about utter heartache. So take it away.
Yeah, so we had the Sex and the City box set at home, and I broke up with somebody when I was like in my teens or something. And to not text him or talk to him, I was like, I just got to go into a box set. Finished Sex and the City in 2 months. And then I was at a house party. I bumped into him at the house party, and he was just like, hey, I haven't heard from you. You just went off the radar. And I was like, oh, yeah, everyone's shite. Like, hated men and women from the show. I was just like, everyone just fucking has problems, don't they? And it was just an education. And he was just like, no, it just seemed like he just moved on fairly quickly. And I was like, I was honestly just watching Sex and the City for 2 months back to back, like a marathon. So if anybody's getting over a bit of heartache, that's the best way to get over it. You won't touch your phone. Yeah.
Was this the same boyfriend that in our previous episode it was revealed that your family had artificially wrecked that relationship for a laugh?
Oh my god, it was the same dude. Yes. Yeah, we were on again, off again for a little while. I wonder why. Oh, lol. Keego, how did you? But honest to God, it was like if people, you know, pandemics happen. If you found yourself newly single, do get into a Sex and the City box set, and then you're like, oh my God, my life isn't so bad because these women just make a big deal out of everything. I can say that. Are we going to get up?
No, I stopped. Yeah. See, yeah, you can say. I was going to say that with my eyes, Alo. So thank you for saying it out loud with your face.
They're just hard work. I think a lot of them are just fucking hard work. Like they just always have a bee in their bonnet over something. So I was watching the second movie last night because I was like, I just have to watch something. Carrie just has a fucking problem with everything, and Big is a saint, just like letting it go past and just going, yeah. And then giving her a piece of her own medicine. He was like, how about I take a break because you took a break, which I didn't make a big deal of. How about I, one hand feeds the other. She fucking loses it. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I siding with the men in the show?
It is insane. That's the insane thing, isn't it? It's written, it's one of the first shows based off a book written by a woman, a lot of woman writers involved. The guy who produced it, geez, I didn't do it for the Leaving Cert, but the guy who produced it did Beverly Hills 90210, all that rubbish. So you think that they know what women are like, whereas I can only imagine sitting within earshot of any of these women and just repeatedly cock punching myself just to think about something else. Yeah, because it's just too much hard work. But the reason the reason I asked Ben about the Watershed there is it is a far different show post 9 p.m. It's a bit like, do you remember the short-lived reality show Girls of the Playboy Mansion? Before 9 p.m.
So yes, I do. I have another story about that, but let's finish your one first.
Let's not forget that, Ben. But before 9 o'clock, that is a nice show about three women being friends with a very, very old man in a very, very old house. After 9 p.m., that is about three very young women being Ben's already. We've got a yellow card already here. Being forced into a relationship with a very old man, shall we say. So it's a very different show. Whereas Sex and the City afterwards, because as Ben said, it's not just sex, but after 9, it is just sex,
Like
and
it,
it's a
it
far
kind
better
of
show.
was. Yeah, it was like a milestone of its time because that was such a taboo topic until Sex and the City came out, and they were openly talking about it. Also, like lads in the locker room, women don't talk about these things, and then when women spoke about it, the world was shocked. So like that's it. Obviously progressed feminism views and all that because I have to say all that shite. But obviously, what is it? Stuff about
You don't believe a word of it.
yeah, stuff
Oh,
about like multi-dating, like it made that kind of standard practice, or being married and not having kids, and like tackling those kind of issues from like a woman's perspective, and just being like, yeah, cool. But a lot of the time, they were just a pain in the hole, fighting each other and not talking about what they wanted to actually say. Yes, Keego, you have your hand up like a
sorry.
teacher.
Just before Ben tells the story,
Oh yeah.
the multi-dating bit. I have grown up assuming that women have been doing this for forever because women can multitask. If you give us more than 1.5 tasks, we can't do it. So I assume that,
Multi-date as well.
not very well though. You know what I mean? We if we're being honest, it's pretty bad. You see, apparently, I don't know.
We'll come back to you, but Ben, what was your story?
Well, actually, before we do the story, it's interesting. It's interesting what I don't know if Keego. Yeah, okay. I didn't know if he'd frozen or he was just holding that pause. It's actually funny, Keego, you saying that about it's not just about the sex, because like I do with all writing, preparing material or ideas or whatever for the show, the first thing I do is just Google the thing. And Sex and the City, like anything on Google, you have the ability to review it. You can leave a Google review, not just for places, but for television shows. Now, we know that Sex and the City is like, it's beyond doubt now. It's an iconic TV show. It doesn't stop some people leaving their reviews, and I want to share a couple with you. One guy just left a review where his review was not enough sex for me, at least. That's a 1 star.
Look at his face. Look at his face. That's a man who hasn't had sex ever.
I mean, there's plenty of city. There is more than enough and the city in the show, but the sex, he was expecting a lot more.
That's obviously because Sarah Jessica Parker didn't want any sex scenes.
The other thing with Google review is that some people could probably just confuse it for something else. Like this guy left a review, which was I don't know if he confused it with a leaving card for someone at his work. He just went, "Good luck on your new position at your place. Thumbs up." But he only left a 1 star. Like good luck, but I think you're a fucking idiot. Like that's what. So. There you are. No, but my story about Girls of the Playboy Mansion, my sister loved that show. And I don't mean that in like asking for a friend. My actual sister loved the series Girls of the Playboy Mansion. And when I said to her, "What do you want for Christmas?" This was years ago when it was on. She said, "Get me series 1 of the Girls of the Playboy Mansion on DVD." And I was like, okay. No. And so I went into HMV at the now built over St James Centre in Edinburgh, found Girls of Playboy Mansion 3 and 2, but no series 1. And so I had to go up. I had to go up and ask a guy, "Look, and it was just like it was Christmas. I was like, I'm just shopping. I don't give a fuck. I'm not dressed up." So I'm like beard, fucking, it was raining, it was Macintosh. So a bearded man with glasses and a Macintosh going up to an HMV counter going, "You seem to have series 3 and series 2. Do you have series 1 of Girls of the Playboy Mansion?" and then the guy phoned the stock room and somebody brought it out, but because it had come from the stock room, there was no price on it. So it's Christmas shopping in Edinburgh, and the guy's just yelling to his he held up the DVD and he's just yelling to another colleague going, "How much for Girls of the Playboy Mansion series 1 for this guy?" And I died inside, and then my soul slipped out of my arse, and there was a puddle on the floor of my soul. My arse. And it was that point I was like, yeah, this is what familial love is. Okay, it's willing is willing to stand in a queue looking like this guy and ask for girls in the Playboy Mansion for my. And when I said that, I went, "It's not for me; it's for my sister." Like the look that I got from the guy at the till, like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be honest, I wouldn't believe you either.
Could I just say we have the subconscious of the cashier from HMV and what they actually wanted to say to you.
Sir, how are you holding up that bag and I can see both of your hands? Like
nobody knows. I guess, do we want to do a stand-up bit? Is this a good time to do a stand-up bit? We have Ben doing some of the stand-up, and I want everybody to go crazy. Ooh.
Oh, is it me? I thought it was Keego. Who would like to go first?
I don't mind. I can go first if you want, unless Ailo wants to just change everything that we discussed beforehand again.
If we want to start again, we will be saying.
I've got a little thing. Okay, it's Keego. Keego's first. Here's his title sequence.
Yeah.
So tonight we are starting a weekly bulletin called Fact About Keego. Okay, so that was the start of my news bulletin there. I should have tapped it like an old school newsreader. First things first. Yes, I know I am bald up here, but something has happened since we last spoke. I have caught male pattern baldness of the face. My beard is getting patchier than the plot line to Series 6 of Game of Thrones. It's really getting bad here. But the story of the week, my eyes are up here, guys, my eyes are up here. So the story of the week, I am a human being, as some people have said, and sometimes I am even useful. And I tried to be useful this week by saying, I'll do the shopping, right? So I said, right, give me that list and I'll hold this against you for the rest of your life. And so off I went to Lidl, right? Now I thought it'd be easy. I was in for a pint of milk and I got distracted by the middle aisle. Now, I don't know, Lidl and Aldi, they're all the same. They have this middle aisle and week on week it changes. So I walked in looking for a pint of milk and I walked out with a wetsuit, a ball gag and a welder's helmet. I was up at the cashier. She looked at me like I was the star of a true crime documentary on Netflix. It was pretty bad, but Lidl is Disneyland for old people. I am an old person. It is Disneyland. And there's even a song to go with it. Some of this is factual. I'm going to leave it up to you and we're going to finish on this, okay? You ready? Sing along if you want, children. We're off to see the Lidl and what the hell we find. A pint of milk and some cheap drink and sex toys that are legal in Ireland and I shouldn't have brought home and asked to use last night. So, yeah, I'm not allowed to do the shopping anymore. I'm back to what I'm actually good at, which is opening jam jars and putting the bins out. So that is Keego's Fact of the Week. I will not do the shopping for you. Thank you very much.
Woo!
3.5 quarters of that is based on real life.
Now we know what's in the bins. It's a lot of sex toys that you've got to get out of the house.
You know what?
Your bins were vibrating?
I have a sneaky suspicion that if you don't want to do something, just do it so badly so that you're not asked to do it again.
Oh, Ailo, are you trying to say that we purposely do things wrong so we don't get asked again?
Yeah, like not knowing how to put on the television. Not knowing how to put on television. You fucking know well.
Are we?
I mean, that is commitment. That is commitment to go out for a pint of milk and when I won't ever have to do this again. So I'm just going to buy a bunch of dildos. Like, the specialist shopping that has to be done to fuck that up.
Not only that, Ben, but the amount of dildos I had to buy. The amount of dildos. I had one of those big, the big trolleys, and I just was looking people in the eye, just wrapping my arm around the shelf. Get in this trolley.
It's always sides with you. Bunny, yeah. I actually bought a lint bunny. I'm eating a bunny. We love a bunny, don't we, girls? Lol.
Wow. This is going to be the first time. This is going to be the first time there's some eating happening on the show. That's
all right. Are we ready for the next stand-up bit, or Ben? Do you want to go later?
it's called. Wait, no, I'll go now. Sure. It's called middle. Firstly, though, it's called middle aisle syndrome.
I've got the format we agreed. There we go. Now,
I also love with D. comment that it's middle aisle syndrome, or for short, mass, which has other Irish connotations as well. I've got a mass.
There's like a priest with a dusty chalk yoke in the middle of the aisle. He's just like, peace be with you. That's only on Sunday, so they don't have that much of a budget.
Bunch of dildos.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Father, the Son, and the Holy Dildo. The dill don't. Let's move on.
All right, Keego has done a stand-up bit. Ben, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I have an identical title sequence, just with my name instead of Keego's name. Let's eat some more time by playing this. Right. Yes, it's my stand-up bit. Let's do it. That's okay. So this is, I should definitely 100% say this is all new material. So I'm discovering whether this is any good as much as you guys are at home. But whereas you can forget it and move on with your lives, this will be on the internet forever. So I better at least sell some of it. That's okay. What can I say? What can I say about Sex in the City? Well, as I already said, I've seen it. I've seen it all the way through. It's one of the few things that I have, in fact, seen all the way through, because I haven't actually seen that many TV shows, which I know is surprising because, I know I look like someone who's never done watching TV and then complaining about it on Reddit. I mean, like, I get it. I'm currently dressed like the comic book guy from The Simpsons' sister here. So, but genuinely, I have not seen a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of shows that I haven't seen. I have a list. I'm going to read out to you the sort of what you're dealing with here. The things I have not seen. I've never seen The Sopranos. I've never seen The West Wing. Never seen Game of Thrones. Never seen Breaking Bad. Never seen Dexter or Mad Men or House or Stranger Things or 24 or The Walking Dead or Better Call Saul or Lost or The Wire or Prison Break. It's been a year. We've been locked in our homes. All there is to do is watch TV, and I still haven't seen Tiger King. I still haven't seen it. Why? Because all of them, at one time or another, have been recommended to me. So all of them, I've went, well, I'm never watching that. That's who you're dealing with. Because people recommending stuff to me, I hate it. Okay, I don't know about you, I fucking hate it. Because first up, the reason I don't want to have to do homework to be your friend. That's what it is. You bring something up, and before I talk to you again, I have to watch 96 hours of television and prepare a report on my thoughts. That's what the recommendation is. I mean, the next step up from that is birthdays. Birthdays are even worse. Like, they're the exams of friendship. They happen once a year, and weeks beforehand, you have to go back and. So fuck. You got to go back across everything you learned about that person in that time to get the best present, so you can graduate to the next year of knowing that person. That's recommending books is the worst as well, because when people give you a loan of the book, at least with a TV show, you can just stick it on in the background. But now I have to read all the words and turn pages, and you've given me the book. So I have to guard your stuff and then make sure you get it back like I'm a fucking DPD driver. I mean, I hate that. I also hate it because, and this is going to sound like such an assholey thing to say, which is absolutely fine because it is such an assholey thing to say. It's ego bruising, okay? It's ridiculous. Someone recommends something to me, and rather than think, oh, that's great, a friend knows a way that they could enrich my life and make me happier, instead of that, the voice inside me goes, who the fuck do not presume to think that you can know me. I am an unknowable enigma. I am a man of mystery who will never be understood by mere... That's the monologue in my head. That's what happens. Someone says to me, hey, you might like Fleabag. And then I turn into a contestant from The Apprentice. Like, that's... and in a completely unearned way as well. Like, that level of ego should not exist. And this is genuine. I met a Dutch guy, and he told me that Amsterdam, like, he just, like, as a joke, and I didn't get, he told me that Amsterdam AM technically after midday should be called PM-sterdam. And for like ages, I was like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, that's the intellect that you're dealing with here. That's, anyway, I'll finish on this. I have no idea if this worked or not. Another reason I don't take recommendations for things is that I am an overthinker. And years ago, someone said that I should watch Taken, the Liam Neeson film, the first one. And at the time, me and my then girlfriend, we were going on holiday to Paris. And then I watched a film about people being kidnapped in Paris, and I had an anxiety attack about what if it happened to me. Now, I don't think that even the most optimistic people, trafficking pimp, would think that there's a place for me as a Turkish man's sex slave on a yacht. But for an hour, I was on the phone to Expedia trying to cancel the whole thing. That's and my girlfriend, she had to talk me down. She had to calm me down. And I'd pointed out rightly that all the people that got kidnapped in the film were women, which made me feel a little better. Not much, but you know. And then it hit me, and then this is the worst bit. If indeed there is a worst bit in this list of worst bits, what might hit me? What if she got kidnapped? You know, what if she was the one that got kidnapped? And if she did, would she expect me to avenge her? Would I have to come after her? And then I started to just in my head, just started to reassess the whole relationship. In my head, I was like, I mean, we're moved in, but we've not talked about marriage. Is avenging more or less than marriage? Was I there yet for avenging? Because if I'm honest, and I think everyone understands this, avenging, you know, it feels like it's more than I'm capable of. You know, like Taken makes avenging look like a lot. You know, like fucking, you know, you have to be 100%. Because I was also like, you know what? Because if I failed to avenge, that would be embarrassing. I didn't want that embarrassment. You'd be properly red-faced if you'd failed to avenge. And I was like, you know, like you can't just be like, well, I tried my best, but you know, hope you enjoy your life now. Anyway, that was all new material, which will now haunt me forever on the internet. I've been Ben, and you've been watching me. Thanks very much.
Another.
What was that? That was probably like.
That list, I've only seen 3. Yeah, I'm the exact same with Taken. Speaking of threes, Taken was a trilogy. Like, by the time they got to Taken 3, they just should call it Careless. That's what I think of it.
That's funny. I've had a lot of love for you, Ben, till now. Watch some fucking TV. Yes.
Yeah.
I will. Just don't recommend me any stuff to watch. Do I recommend things to other people? No. I practice what I preach. I do not tell anybody. Pretty much because I've not seen anything to be able to recommend anything to anybody. So.
That was Dee just fishing there, just going, I've got him.
I was watching Breaking Bad, and season 5 is season 5A and season 5B. Kind of like the last Harry Potter film. They released it in 2 different discs and so on because capitalism. So I accidentally watched 5B before I watched 5A. And I was just like, I don't know, man. This seems like a pretty finite thing. What? I've got a whole season to go through. I don't know how they're going to come back from this. And then I watched 5A and I was just like, oh, sure, this is them introducing. I was just accepting all the new characters in season 5. I was just like, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'll go with this. And then season 5A, I was like, oh, sure, that's their introduction. Okay. all right, we already know. And I watched it with someone who's just like, oh, that leads into, yeah. All right, it doesn't sound so weird now. Yeah. Because we were a bit like, what? But we just, anyways.
Well, I'm never going to watch it.
The exact same thing happened to me, Ayla, with the Jurassic Park franchise. I watched the second one first, and then I watched the first one.
Hang on the fuck. Is this on Pornhub or is this on Disney Plus?
I said Jurassic Park. What are you talking about?
You said pork.
You said 100%.
No,
Pork.
You just said pork, the two of you.
No.
Okay.
What? 2 against 1. Have you been to primary school? 2 against 1.
I took the liberty of recording the conversation.
If you believe that, let's have a vote with the viewers. Place a comment if you think he said pork or if he said park.
Who heard pork and who heard park? Who are the perverts watching?
You just have Peppa Pig on the mind. Pig and blankets.
Balls deep in Peppa Pig. Yeah.
Bit of sausage. Yeah. You just have that in your brain, okay?
Sausage on the brain. Yep, sausage on the brain. Let's move on from this before I get tarred with a brush of pervert. Oh wait. I don't know what that means, Dee. Terrible emoji.
What did you say? She said pork.
Oh.
She said pork.
No,
of course. Pork.
Of course, Dee Dooley is going to hear pork.
But so did Micheál Murphy. Where does that leave us?
I rest my case. The two biggest perverts in the land heard pork. I rest my case.
Two biggest perverts in the land heard the other biggest pervert in the land say pork.
So meta.
Two of the other top 3 perverts in the land heard something different. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine if there actually was a league table for perverts? How would you even go about judging that?
We'll move swiftly on.
They'd have a Champions League tournament where you'd be the champion of Europe for the perverts. And then you'd have to out-perv another continent.
No, we're not doing this. All right, we're going to reel it in. It's not working.
Let's move on. It's grand. We'll edit this out. Let's start the show now.
Okay, great. We're going to reel it back. So Sex and the City was obviously about, like, it was such a taboo thing and it would, like, shocked a lot of people. Was it anyone's awakening? Was it anybody, like, watch it and go, oh my God, women have sex drives too? Like, did anybody get a bit of a shock when they watched it? Or did you find it hilarious? I just want the gas. I just want all the... What did you guys think?
What are you asking? Did either of us have a wank over Sex in the City at any point?
No,
that's what you're asking.
No. 2 out of 3 perverts heard pork. No, I'm not asking that. I was asking, you're the one watching Jurassic Park, not me. Fair play to you, Dee. No, I wasn't asking to just have a wank over it. I'm just like, did you just go, oh my God, women have sex drives as well? We could talk about these things to women and like, they're as filthy as we are.
Well, so to me, when watching it, it didn't surprise me. Not that I knew people like that, but I didn't, all the women that I knew, everyone seemed like genuine, actual human beings. I mean, in terms of you watching it as Ailish, as a woman, was there what was the perspective that you had watching it as a woman?
I find it so shocking. I was just like, oh my goodness, yeah. Like they were, so as an Irish person, we didn't have condoms or contraception until the late 80s, and everything else just came over in French letters, is what they called them. So it was like being Irish and being a prude. It kind of is two of the, like a 10th commandment of being Irish. It's one of the 10 commandments of being Irish, just to be a prude. So some of it was like such an awakening, such like a thing. I was just like, oh my God, we can talk about this. Like, and ask my friend for like feminine hygiene products and stuff, and I won't have to call it feminine hygiene products, and they won't raise an eyebrow. Or I could ask about sex toys, and nobody will raise an eyebrow. And it was just an open, like, I was so shocked and surprised. I was like, we can talk about this. I can educate myself. So that's how I found it as a woman.
That was a very high voice.
It certainly, whoa. But for me,
I kept going.
Oh, so yeah. Well, I had about 4 years of dial-up internet before Sex in the City, so I was very much aware that women weren't just. They, by the time now, I had to make sure no one else used the phone in the house while I was downloading the pornographic material. It would come in line by line, and certainly the ladies in that film were very empowered and interested in the nocturnal arts, and so
You're making it sound like Harry Potter. Like it's
yeah. I have a black belt in the nocturnal arts. Now, show me your penis. Oh, I can't. Oh, the problem is, though, Alo, the secret that we're gonna let out of the bag here is this: because Ireland was so backwards, as you're saying. Whenever a woman in real life, now not on the screen, in real life is forward and aware of what she wants, that frightens the mother of Jesus out of us. We start getting religious and we go, right, and then we start talking without saying anything. So it's a bit like the sex education class I had in school, where they were talking about women's bits, and they go, well, the women have the all, and then the thing, and then the ooh, and then whenever that happens, this and oh, and let's go play football. So that's kind of that's what happens when strong women come into a man's life.
Yeah, I guess it was like, especially Samantha, like Kim Cattrall played that role to the finish line, especially seeing her being a strong woman. Sorry, chocolate, and I ate a whole tub of Pringles because I'm just a fucking horse. But just to see
a really unhealthy horse. Who's feeding that to a horse?
A talking horse. What?
Well, I believe that's one of the 4 women of Sex in the City.
Turning to glue is what that is.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom, but yeah, I guess it was great to see like strong women. But I'm gonna. It kind of leads us on to Keego. You were leading on to the talk. Does anybody remember getting the talk in school? What was the talk?
We had a little bit of a talk, and then when it was time for the girl to learn about women, we were sent out to play a game that we played in the late 80s, early 90s called Unihoc, which is basically prison hockey. So the downside of that was I still know nothing about women, where anything is, how anything works.
Or the clitoris, yeah.
Or it's a Greek island from what I hear. It's a bit like Atlantis. People saw it once, but now people learn about it in mythology classes in college. But
this triangle.
We've seen once, yeah. But no, I'm really good at Unihoc. So every up and down. It's actually. I met a stripper once who I wasn't able to talk to because of the sex education classes in Ireland. In her professional capacity now, not on the street. I don't know how you tell if someone's a stripper walking past them, but there was a completely naked woman beside me at the bar.
And that's why you're not the number one pervert in Europe.
Exactly. Mihal and Dee can spot strippers from 2 miles away. That's.
Sorry. There was a naked woman standing beside you in a bar. Obviously, it was a strip bar. Don't say like it was like Doyle's or something. Like there's a bar and there's like a naked woman standing beside me. You went into that bar.
Well, yeah, of my own free willy. And but what happened was, what are you laughing at? I said, of my own free will.
I was laughing at the turn of phrase. I was laughing at the turn of phrase. Go on.
You cunning linguist. But no, I was having a pint, and then all of a sudden, there you are, and I suddenly reverted to a 7-year-old in sex education class. She had a Babes t-shirt on, and I had my Hot Rod t-shirt on, so she obviously thought, "Let's go."
This is awkward.
Yeah,
you're reeling hard in here.
Jesus, you look. Yeah, would you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I would do this so that she couldn't see me talking. And that's what happens. That's why you need to teach young boys. This show isn't about me. Let's move on.
That's right. Ben. Treat a stripper like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. It doesn't register movement. If you stay very still, it'll just move on down the bar.
Ben, do you remember did you get a chat in Scotland in primary school, secondary school?
Well, so it's interesting. Dee Dooley said Catholic guilt, and I get that. So I was raised Catholic at a Catholic school, but it was in Scotland. And I didn't really know what Catholic guilt was until I came to Ireland and started knowing Irish people. I understood. I thought, okay, maybe there's because with Catholic, but basically I would get up, feel anxious, like I'd done something wrong, and then have dinner and go to bed. That was a day for me. And it wasn't until I arrived in Ireland that was Catholic guilt. And I thought I was mentally ill, but it turns out I was just being raised with a notion of a God. Because being Catholic in Scotland, like, it's mostly a Protestant country. Like if there's a vibe, there's a religious vibe to Scotland, it's Protestant annoyance. Like that's, there's Catholic guilt and there's Protestant annoyance. That's the opposite of that. So there was a weird blend of the two when it comes to the chat that we got and it wasn't high school, it was primary school. So like it was where I was like 2000 and like the headmaster was the one who gave it. He was a lad, and he was the one who gave it because there was a lot of women who were teachers, but to talk to the guys, they needed a guy. And I just remember, like, every time before he would give one of these lessons, like he would take off his jacket and he would take off his tie and he would kind of unloosen a button, like because he wanted to be like relaxed and talking to you like a guy, but like it looked like properly like. Right, boys, we're going to talk about sex now. And it's like, why do we have... And, there was a lot of animation used. There was a lot of how it was done in a biological sense, but illustrated by cartoons. And I remember there was one where it was two robots having sex, and this kind of big unit of a golden robot was having sex with a more sleek, slender red lady robot. And it just had this fucking drill thing, like pneumatically battering into this other robot. And I was like, do you know what? Forget it. None of this I want part of. This is fucking just like this spring system. And I was like, fuck me. I mean, no wonder.
Can I just finish with one thing?
Which is what you say all the time.
That's a quadruple entendre there. That's a mythic quadruple. But no, Irish men learn about sex by watching dogs. So that's why we are awful. You walk up and you sniff a girl on the bum and she's just not interested. So that's why, just to let everyone know, that's why we are awful.
How is there children in this country?
I fear I've said too little. Ailo, this is your show, Ailo. Come on, save it quick.
Well, I remember talking to friends going, how did you, did you have a chat? That she went to a multi-denominational school, so there was no overboarding like religion that you have to be part of in order to get into the school. She goes, we're all given bananas and Johnnies. And I was just like, hilarious. I spoke to someone who was a lot older than us, and we were like, what was sex ed like in your time? And he goes, basically in the 80s or like the 70s, in the 70s, like I had a friend called Jenny. Everybody, one day, a woman came in going, where are all the girls? All the women got up and all the girls got up and left the room. And I was like, where the fuck is Jenny? So he goes over to the teacher and he goes, where's Jenny? And she's like, stop asking. Shut up. Just stop asking for Jenny. And I was just like, this is so fucking weird. Like, Taken. See, we have a theme. Callback. And then everybody...
I wasn't ready for that.
I would love to see a version of Taken where like Liam Neeson phones up that like band of people traffickers and they just go, shut up, stop asking about her.
Stop asking. So then at the end of the day, all the girls came back with a brown paper bag, sat down in their seats. And the guy who told us, he was just like, Jenny, where were you? She goes, don't touch me. Just don't touch me. She was scarred because like you learn it in primary school. She goes, don't touch me. And he was just like, I'm not going to touch you. I'm not going to do anything. But he was like, me and Jenny were never the same after that. So basically, the men were meant to fend for themselves, and the women got educated back in the 70s. So if you ever had Dooley's saying, if you ever had a wank, did you feel like your dead relations were watching down from heaven? No, Dee. I haven't. I tend to not think there's an audience.
Wow. When you test the room at a party, has anyone ever accidentally had sex with a goat? That kind of question. Dee just tried that at this party.
Yeah.
Dee, I speak for everyone in attendance when I say yellow card. Don't say that out loud again, okay?
Although
Thank you.
I love Darren. I love Darren's comment, which is "Don't knock it till you've tried it." So whatever floats your goat, mate. Whatever.
Hey, Darren. I remember when I we'll finish up shortly, but when I was like I went to school, we were told you're going to have the chat, and I was like, right, and then we were told all about it, and like similarly to Ben, I was just like, well, how could anyone enjoy that? And my granny, I went over to my granny's after school, and I just like was so, I remember it so vividly. I was just like had the spinnies, and I was just like, God, I have so many questions. So I was just like, and then my granny just told me I had like an existential crisis, and I was like, Granny, can I talk to you? She was like, yeah, what's up? And I was just like, no, can I talk to you in the kitchen? She was just like,
oh, that's serious. That's serious business. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, okay. So I walked her into the kitchen, and I was just like, I just learned about this. And then she was like, trying not to laugh. She was just like, and then she like cuts a bit of Madeira cake, slides some in front of me, makes me a hot chocolate, and she was like, if you want to ask any questions. She had 5 boys, and then she had like 2 granddaughters. I think she wanted a girl, but like I was the first time I was asking her about it, and I was just like, and then what about this? And what about this? And she was like, only when you're married. Only when you're married. Okay. And yeah, it was that was my awakening. And then years later, my parents were like right, you're what is it? You're 16. We need to have the chat. And I was just like, it's all right. Your mother got in 8 years ahead of you. And he's like, amazing. All right. So like my mom and dad were like, amazing. We don't have to talk about it. my mother and mother-in-law took a bullet for me, you know.
Wow. Yeah. That's a serious conversation. Whenever you say, can I speak to you in the kitchen, that means I've a real question, you know. And it's yeah, fair play to grannies. Grannies always, they've gone past the caring what you think about what they're going to say, so they just get straight to it, you know.
I just love the laughter.
I didn't have that conversation with my granny, you know. It might have scarred me for life, you know what I mean. It would have been, you know, you go outside to a music festival and get into a van with loads of, anyway. Let's move on.
Okay, so we all had a Catholic-y upbringing. So I'm gonna sing a bit of a song, and I'm gonna see if you guys recognize it, because it feels like because as well as the sex education, you also talk about the danger of strangers, of which the song my body's nobody's body but mine, you have your own. Okay, I'm not getting any recognition, so I'm guessing.
Please keep going, and if you want to sing it on repeat for the rest of the night, just for mortification purposes, that would be ideal.
We have 12 hours, yeah.
Well, okay, I tell you what, you know, if we're going to use it, if Halloween weekend for Eargasm, if you want to see Keego being shaved and me performing the full version of my body's nobody's body but mine, then get your tickets from wherever you can get your tickets from.
Oh, I'm going to throw the link back in. We've upped the ante now. Ben is going to sing a song. I'm going to get shaved. We don't know what Ailo is going to do, but that'll be our little piece de resistance, as they say in Limerick. We're going to get Ailo to do something really embarrassing for us on the night as well. So I don't know why you haven't bought tickets yet.
Yeah. And also, like, thanks everybody for watching and for joining us again this week and every week. And obviously we make the show because we love doing what we do. We have a show next Thursday, and the theme of the show is our Easter party. So yes, do join us, and you know,
I like how that information was released to Ailish as she read the banners. And we're having
Easter party.
It took Anne Doyle 112 years doing the 6-1 News to get that professional, and Ailo just bang straight like that. But it's April Fool's Day, so I don't know There might be some fools on April, and one of us may dress as a bunny, a Playboy bunny.
Not me, sadly.
How do I point at Ben?
I'll borrow my sister's DVD to work out what the costume looks like.
And also, thanks for you guys who watched our special on last week. We really appreciated that. And yeah, we look forward to next weekend. Ben is hosting our Easter party.
Sure am.
And if you like our show, do throw us a little cheeky donation to our coffee page. It's only price of a coffee. We'd appreciate that. And we hope you stay safe and have a lovely week. And we'll see you next time. Bye, tits.
Oh wait, this is a nice comment. Put this up before we go. There we go.
Oh, Julie, you rock star. You're amazing. All right, see you guys soon. You're all amazing. Bye, tits.
I've been doing this for ages.